Hare Krishna. Om Shri Krishna Paramatmane Namah. Om Shri Krishna
So we'll
Parabrahmane.
start with
Hare
the
Om
prayers.
Tat Sat.
Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnana Janashalakaya
Mataji, are done,
Chakshuram
Mataji?
Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaya Kada Mahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashatadeshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Govindaya Namaha Sri Krishna Hari Bol Gopala Hari Bol Radharamana Govinda Hari Bol Sri Krishna Hari Bol Gopala Hari Bol Radharamana Govinda Hari Bol जय राधा गोविंद राधे जय गौरनीता जय गौरनीताय गौरनीताय जय गौरनीताय जय पंचतत्वा पंचतत्वा जय पंचतत्वा जय प्रभुपादा प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल. So welcome you all to the Bhakti Shastri class, module 3, chapter 13. So where were we yesterday? Naturally, no?
Yes, Mataji.
Naturally, when one is adapted to spiritual way of life, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. You can't hear our
Oh,
voice.
I'm not
Yeah, I
able
think so.
to
I
hear
think so.
doing
She's
you.
not. Yeah,
another
she's not
meeting.
able
She
to.
was another meeting.
Hare Krishna,
Yeah,
Mataji.
yeah. I think right. You're right. She can't hear us.
That's why I'm thinking that while reciting the Pranoti Mataji saying something, so she was maybe not aware of this.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, are you able to hear Mataji?
Yes. Just give me a minute, no? Just give me a minute.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, hope I'm audible now.
Mataji,
ma'am.
you're audible. Can you hear us?
Yeah, we can start reading now.
Mataji, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay.
Naturally, when one is adapted to the spiritual way of life, he will not want to mix with materialistic men. That would go against his grain. One may test himself by seeing how far he is inclined to live in a solitary place without unwanted association. Naturally, a devotee has no taste for unnecessary sporting or cinema going or enjoying some social function because he understands that these are simply a waste of time. There are many research scholars and philosophers who study sex life or some other subject. But according to Bhagavad Gita, such research work and philosophical speculation have no value. That is more or less nonsensical. According to Bhagavad Gita, one should make research by philosophical discretion into the nature of soul. One should make research to understand the self. That is recommended here. As far as self realization is concerned, it is clearly stated here that Bhakti Yoga is especially practical. As soon as there is a question of devotion, one must consider the relationship between the super soul and the individual soul. The individual soul and the super soul cannot be one, at least not in the Bhakti conception, the devotional conception of life. This service of the individual soul to the super soul is eternal, nityam, as it is clearly stated. So, bhakti or devotional service is eternal. One should not be established in that philosophical conviction. One should be established in that philosophical conviction. In Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.11, it is explained, Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yad jnanam advayam. Those who are actually knowers of the absolute truth know that the self is realized in three different phases as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Bhagavan is the last word in the realization of absolute truth. Therefore, one should reach up to the platform of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus engage in the devotional service of the Lord. That is the perfection of knowledge. Beginning from Beginning from practicing humility up to the point of realization of the supreme truth, the absolute personality of Godhead, this process is just like a staircase beginning from the ground floor and going up to the top floor. Now, on this staircase, there are so many people who have reached the first floor, the second or the third floor, etc. But unless one reaches the top floor, which is the understanding of Krishna, he is at the lower stage of knowledge. If anyone wants to compete with God and at the same time make advancement in spiritual knowledge, he will be frustrated. It is clearly stated that without humility, understanding is not truly possible. To think oneself God is most puffed up. Although the living entity is always being kicked by the stringent laws of material nature, he still thinks, I am God because of ignorance. The beginning of knowledge, therefore, is amanitvam, humility. One should be humble and know that he is subordinate to the Supreme Lord. Due to rebellion against the Supreme Lord, one becomes subordinate to material nature. One must know and be convinced of this truth. Hare Krishna. Mataji, you can, if you don't mind, you can make me the co-host. So in case someone goes unmute, I'll mute them.
So, yeah. So once we have taken up the path of spirituality, so we should not waste our time by mixing with the materialistic people, because on a different lines we are going. So it is simply waste of time. We are wasting on the mundane things and all, which will not add up anything to our bhakti. Okay. As far as self-realization is concerned, I clearly stated that bhakti yoga is especially practical. That yesterday we have discussed, right? Right from morning Mangalarti, seeing the God, listening to the music and the chanting, and smelling the flowers offered to the Lord, having the Krishna Prasadam. This is it's like a course, you know. So we should devote certain time by automatically your internal purification start. So, and so one should always try to be in that line so that it is a regular continuous process persistently going, so that automatically we will get purified eventually at one point of time. Yeah. As per this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, 11th verse, Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam. So, yeah, the one who knows about the absolute truth in three different phases as a Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan, this particular Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan will come in different places. Second chapter, and 18th chapter, and in between also. So, Brahman is a first class devotee. Second is a second class devotee, and Bhagavan is, first class devotee is Bhagavan. Then entry level first class third class devotee is a Brahman. Next is a Paramatma. Okay, Bhagavan means all the demigods come under this category. So Bhagavan is the last word in the realization of the absolute truth. It is also been compared to that of the sun disk, sun rays, and the what do you say? Sun disk, the outer covering of the sun disk, and the sun rays. Yeah. So similarly, as they are different, what do you say, the sun disk and this sun rays and all. Similarly, in the initial bhakti, yeah, we may have a lot of doubts, inquisitiveness, differences. But eventually, when you are doing the bhakti and all, you should more progress towards the perfection and very steadiness in your sadhana bhakti. Okay. So various things we have discussed yesterday: humility, tolerance, cleanliness, free from false ego, not having free from non-duality. Okay. So free from diplomacy. Many things we have discussed. So as we are practicing this bhakti, automatically things which are contaminate us will be leaving, and we will eventually progress. Okay. Despite this, if one is not able to progress and they are stuck with a factor I, it is mainly because of the ignorance. That means somewhere the practice is not going well. So if you take in medicine, despite giving the proper medication for a patient, he will not heal. That means somewhere either the required supportive services is not taking, or the medication which he is using is not of a good quality. Somewhere his immunity is not supporting us. Similarly, when we are doing the sadhana bhakti, we have to be in the same lines which are being prescribed to do the bhakti. So somewhere if you are getting deviated, this will have a different result, not as desired. Yeah. Next.
I can read Mataji.
Yes, Ma.
Yes, Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text 13. Jneyam yattat pravakshyami yajnatvam ashnute anadimat param brahma nasattanna sad uchyate. Synonyms: Jneyam, the knowable, yat, which, that pravakshyami, I shall now explain, yat, which, Gnatva, knowing, Amrutam, nectar, Ashnute, one tastes, Anadi, beginningless, Matparam, subordinate to me, Brahma, spirit, Na, neither, Sat, cause, that, Na, nor, Asat, effect, Uchyate is said to be. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: I shall now explain the knowable, knowing which you will taste the eternal, Brahman, the spirit. Beginningless and subordinate to me, lies beyond the cause and effect of this material world. Purport: the Lord has explained the field of activities and the knower of the field. He has also explained the process of knowing the knower of the field of activities. Now he begins to explain the knowable, first the soul and then the super soul. By knowing of the knower, both the soul and the super soul, one can relish the nectar of life. As explained in the second chapter, the living entity is eternal. This is also confirmed here. There is no specific date at which the Jiva was born. nor can anyone trace out the history of the Jivatmas, manifestation from the Supreme Lord. Therefore, it is beginningless. The Vedic literature confirms this. Najayate Mriyate va vipaschit. Katha Upanishad 1.2.18. The knower of the body is never born and never dies and is full of knowledge. The Supreme Lord as the Super Soul is also stated in the Vedic literature, Shvetashvatara Upanishad 6.16, to be Pradhana Kshetrajna Patir Gunesha, the chief knower of the body and the master of the three modes of material nature. In the Smriti, it is said, Dasa Bhuto Harer Eva Nanyasvaiva Kadachana. The living entities are eternally in the service of the Supreme Lord. This is also confirmed by Lord Chaitanya in his teachings. Therefore, the description of Brahman mentioned in this verse is in relation to the individual soul. And when the word Brahman is applied to the living entity, it is to be understood that he is Vijnana Brahma as opposed to Ananda Brahma. Ananda Brahma is the supreme Brahman personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sure. Yes. In the first shloka, we have just read about the knower of the field is the Lord himself, and the source of this particular what do you say? The universe is infinite, and in the previous slokas, we have learned about the process of knowing the field of activities, that is, knowing the God, being a humble, tolerance, cleanliness, and all those things. This will come in detail in 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So, once we start a step towards the Lord, automatically it will shine within you. Then we try to enjoy each and everything in the spiritual journey. Okay. Yeah. So when it comes to infinite nature of the material world, which has been corrected, which has been created, there is no specific date at which the soul is being born, when it is, all those things, what we have, the date of birth, date of departure, and all those things are just for our materialistic thing and all. But for the soul and all, it is ever fresh, ever it will change its manifestation as per the past karma and all. So again, so we should limit ourselves with less contamination so that it remains in that purified form of a state, so that what do you say, we can remember the Lord and go back to the Godhead. That is the ultimate purpose of the life. Okay. Yeah. The living entities are eternally in the service of Supreme Lord by different means. The 9 types of devotional service, and by which ultimately we will understand, because all our senses are engaged in service of the Lord. So we will slowly, like in the previous slokas, what we have discussed about the Brahma Pucham, from Pranamaya to Anandamaya stage, we will rise. Okay. Next. Yeah, Hare Krishna, Shivakumar Prabhuji, did you raise your hand?
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
So I'll go with the next shloka.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sarvata Panipadam Tat Sarvato Akshi Shiro Mukham Sarvatah Shrutimal Loke Sarvam Avryatya Tistati. Sarvata everywhere, Pani hands, Padam legs, Tat that, Sarvatah everywhere, Akshi eyes, Siraha heads, Shiraha heads, Mukham faces, Sarvata everywhere, Shrutimat having ears, Loke in the world, Sarvam everything, Avartya covering, Tisthati exists. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Everywhere are his hands and legs, his eyes, heads and face, and he has ears everywhere. In this way, the supersoul exists pervading everything. Puppet. As the sun exists diffusing its unlimited rays, so does the supersoul or supreme personality of Godhead. He exists in his all pervading form, and in his exists all the individual living entity, beginning from the first great teacher, Brahma, down to small ants. There are unlimited heads, legs, hands, and ears, and unlimited living entities. All are existing in and on the supersoul. Therefore, the supersoul is all pervading. The individual soul, however, cannot say that he has his hands, legs, and eyes everywhere. That is not possible. If he thinks that under ignorance he is not conscious that his hands and legs are diffused all over, but when he attains to proper knowledge, he will come to that stage. His thinking is contradictory. This means that the individual soul, having become conditioned by material nature, is not supreme. The supreme is different from the individual soul. The supreme Lord can extend his hands without limit. The individual soul cannot. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that if anyone offers him a flower, a fruit, a little water, he accepts it. If the Lord is a far distance away, how can he accept things? This is omnipotence of the Lord. Even though he is situated in his own abode, far, far away from earth, he can extend his hands to accept what anyone offers. That is his potency. In the Brahma Samhita 5.37, it is stated, Goloka Eva Nivasati Akhilatma Bhutaha. Although he is always engaged in pastimes in his transcendental planet, he is all pervading. The individual soul cannot claim that he is all pervading. Therefore, this verse describes the super soul, the personality of Godhead, not the individual soul. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So again, he is infinite. If you remember 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, when Lord shows his Vishwarupa to Arjuna, he is infinite. His mouth are infinite, your limbs are infinite, and the expansions of the Lord are so infinite. We cannot say that this is the beginning and this is the end, right? So in that way, see, the spiritual energy is infinite, and the material energy is finite. So in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that if anyone offers him a patram pushpam phalam toyam, okay, he accepts it. The Lord is far, far distance away. He can accept things. This is the omnipotence of the Lord. Okay. So wherever you are, which place, in whichever situation you are, so if you offer it to the Lord, it will be accepted. Okay. So this is his potency. So whichever place we are there, irrespective of the place, we always have to engage in service of the Lord, having the smriti of the Lord and chanting the Lord will give the same benefit and help us to do the sadhana. Yeah. Next. Yes, Vamshita Prabhu.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. सर्वेन्द्रिया गुणा आभासं सर्वेन्द्रिया विवर्जितम् आसक्तां सर्वभृच्चैव निर्गुणां गुणभोक्तिर्च. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The Super Soul is the original source of the all senses, yet he is without senses. He is unattached, although he is the maintainer of all living beings. He transcends the mood of nature, and at the same time, he is the master of all the mode of material nature. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The Supreme Lord, although the source of all the sources of the living entity, doesn't have material senses like they have actually the individual soul have spiritual senses, but in the conditioned life they are covered with the material elements, and therefore the senses activities are exhibited through matter. The Supreme Lord's senses are not so covered. His senses are transcendental and are therefore called nirguna. Guna means the material moods, but his senses are without material covering. It should be understood that his senses are not exactly like ours. Although he is the source of all our sensory activities, he has his transcendental senses which are uncontaminated. This is very nicely explained in Shveteshwara Upanishad 3.19 verse Apani Pado Java no Grahita. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has no hands which are material contaminated, but he has his hands and accepts whatever sacrifice he offered sacrifice is offered to him. That is the distinction between the conditioned soul and the supreme soul. He has no material eyes, but he has eyes. Otherwise, how could he sees? He sees everything past, present, and future. He lives within the heart of the living beings, and he knows what we have done in the past, what we are doing now, what are the waiting us in the future. This is the also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. He knows everything, but no one knows him. It is said that the Supreme Lord has no legs like us, but he can travel throughout space because he has spiritual legs. In other words, the Lord is not impersonal. He has his eyes, legs, hands, and everything else. And because we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, we also have these things, but his hands, legs, eyes, or senses are not contaminated by material nature. Bhagavad Gita also confirms that when the Lord he appears as he is by his eternal potency. He is not contaminated by the material energy because he is the Lord of material energy. He is the Vedic literature. Mm, we found we find that his whole embodiment is spiritual. He has his eternal form called Satchit Ananda Vigraha. He is full of all opulence. He is the proprietor of all wealth and the owner of all energy. He is the most intelligent and is full of knowledge. These are some of the symptoms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the maintainer of all living entity and the witness of all activities as far as we can understand from Vedic literature. The Supreme Lord is always transcendental, although we do not see his head, face, hands, legs. He has them, and when we are elevated to the transcendental situation, we can see the Lord form due to the due to material contaminated senses, we cannot see his form. Therefore, the impersonalists who are still materially affected cannot understand the personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. This I can give an example like an embryo, it will be first by a single cell, then two cells, then four, then eight, then it will form 36 cells, it will grow, it will take a different forms, ultimately enter an adult, a baby, a completely full baby, having everything, flesh, blood, teeth, bone, everything, isn't it? Okay. Sorry, this is my example as a doctor. But similarly, the Lord is omnipotent. Every source is from Him, and you cannot see He's here, there, and all. So one element is expanding into different forms. So, and the all the materialistic manifestation is just an amsha of the Lord. Okay, if you go in Bhagavatam, second canto, you get deeper about these. But for now, see, what all you think, his hands, legs, eyes, senses are not like, they are a nirguna, they are not contaminated by any modes of material nature because they are transcendental above these three modes of material nature. So three modes of material nature is applicable only to the soul,
Jiva.
not for the super soul. Okay. So he appears only by his internal potency and upon request by his pure devotees. And he is a Sachidananda Vigraha, full of opulence and all. So, yeah. If you can remember 11th chapter, where when Arjuna desired to see the Lord, so he says, so with this normal eyes you cannot see me, I will give you some special vision by which you can see me. So likewise, the amount of sadhana, the amount of practice, the amount of regulatory principles we are following in our day-to-day life is directly proportional by which we can realize that Lord within. Okay. With the materially contaminated senses, we cannot see that. So we have to refrain from all the things which are deviating us from our regular path. So follow the regulative principles, complete your sadhana in a steady way, consistently way, then automatically you can visualize what is right for you. Okay. Next. Who wanted to recite?
No one has raised their hands, Mataji. May I?
I will recite. Bahir antascha bhutana macharam charamev cha sukshma tattva tat avijneyam durastham cha antike cha tat. Yes, you can read the translation and purport.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The supreme truth exists outside and inside of all living beings, the moving and the non-moving. Because he is subtle, he is beyond the power of material senses to see or to know. Although far, far away, he is also near to all. Purport. In Vedic literature, we understand that Narayana, the Supreme Person, is residing both outside and inside of every living entity. He is present in both the spiritual and material worlds. Although he is far, far away, still he is near to us. There are statements of Vedic literature, Asino Duram, Vrajati Shayano Yati Sarvatah, Katha Upanishad 1.2.21. And because he is always engaged in transcendental bliss, we cannot understand how he is enjoying his full opulence. We cannot see or understand with these material senses. Therefore, in the Vedic language, it is said that to understand him, our material mind and senses cannot act. But one who has purified his mind and senses by practicing Krishna consciousness in devotional service can see him constantly. It is confirmed in Brahma Samhita that the devotee who has developed love for the Supreme God can see him always without cessation. And it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 11.54 that he can be seen and understood only by devotional service. Bhaktya va anyaya shakyah.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thus now I have told you in the previous shloka, the amount of sadhana is directly proportional by which we can perceive the Lord. Okay, why Arjuna was able to see Lord Krishna in the 11th chapter? Because all from the very beginning he's been tamed, tuned, and purified in such a way he became eligible to see the Lord in 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Similarly, all our sadhana, whatever we are doing, once we follow it in a certain path and regularly we are consistently doing the thing, then always we can see that Lord within. That is nothing but enlightenment, the differentiate what is good and what is bad, and how to regulate ourselves, how to have a control over ourselves is the knowing the Lord himself. Yeah. Next shloka.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu.
In the 11th chapter, Arjuna was already, he was realized before also, but God, even his Daiva Chakshushu and the special Chakshushu he was provided before. He was only can able to see 200 form. Then he was requested, he want to see opulences of his vibhutis. Then after he was distressed and he was not so happy. Then he was again Lord provided that Premanjana Premanjana or Gyananjana. Here not Premanjana, that Daiva Chakshushu was given. Later on also Arjuna was seen the 400 form of Narayana, Lord Krishna's. Again he was said that now I wanted see your natural, the original Shamasindra form of the 200 form, right? But Arjuna was before he was realized. He was already, he was saying that Parabrahma Paramdhama Pavitram Paramuttam, right? He was already realized, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. So Mataji, yeah, in the context here, in the 13th chapter, here all again, 12th chapter is the continuation of the 13th chapter, because 13th chapter Arjuna asked, what is the best to worship to you? It is two transcendental their form. It is personal and impersonal, right? Personal and impersonal in the first beginning of the 12th chapter. Again,
Yes.
Arjuna, Krishna is always recommended. Yes, two transcendental form is there, but you are devotees are easy way to worship to me is personal form only, right? In
Yes,
the
Prabhu.
12th
I
chapter.
mean to say you in the context that till that time, why I'm giving you 11th chapter example is that till that time he was thinking, yes, he is all everywhere. But, and he will also ask for apology. Sorry for being so casual with you. Sometimes I treated you as a friend and I have asked you to be my charioteer. Like without knowing that you are a god, I have been very casual with you. Please forgive me for all those things. Isn't it? So I am trying to tell you about the transition. Once you don't know about the Lord, now you are a pure devotee doing the sadhana, following the regulative principles, the vision to see the Lord will not come. Only once you realize within, then you can see the Lord. Okay. So our sadhana should be in such a way that we should be able to see the Lord within. So in that context, I was telling that.
Yes,
Hope I-
Mataji, right. So
Yeah.
in 13th chapter is the continuation of the second chapter also, because this what is the God is given in the small introduction in the Sankhya
Yeah,
philosophy.
13 to 17 chapters, Prabhu, are mostly the Jnana Yoga chapters, which are like accessories, accessories, the jewelries. I can say the toppings, once a cake is ready, then you're putting some toppings and decorations to give it a beautiful thing, so to make it more attractive. Pizza is done, you're putting some toppings to make the pizza more attractive, right? Once you get ready, you're putting on a jewelry to look more attractive. Why are we doing that? So to enhance the beauty of the existing thing, whether the food, the person, or whatever it is, right? Similarly, till Bhakti Yoga, we know that this is the path we have to follow for the Lord to worship in this way, the personal way or impersonal way. So we have got to the personal way. In that also different things and all. To become a person who can worship the Lord in a personal way, we need to know about ourselves. Kshetra, that is the body, and we should know who is the Kshetragna, the one who is ruling the body, and how we can become eligible Kshetra, the body. So what are all regulatory principles and what are all we have to follow, that we'll be knowing in this particular chapter. So end of this chapter, we'll only know the process by which one, how one can know himself and get qualified to be, to do the sadhana bhakti or do the personal bhakti of the Lord. So when you come to 14th chapter, it is by 3 different modes how you can reach the God. 15th chapter, you will know how the best way you can reach the God. Okay, 16th chapter, you will have a distinction about the Daivi and the demonic qualities. How you have to inculcate your divine qualities, you will come to know. 17th chapter is all about the food by which your consciousness is affected, by which you can reach the God. And 18 is the summary of Bhagavad Gita. Hope it is too much, or hope you have understood, Prabhu.
Yeah, understand, Matas. But yes, we have after the, when we are finishing the 12th chapter, so it's roaming in my mind. It is more about the Sankhya, explaining because what Arjuna was asking in the 12th chapter, later is extended of the second chapter is given the matter and spirit. So here again, the Krishna is explaining in the brief explanation in the a compact version, we can say compact version, not here explained very briefly as here written in Prabhupada. We can refer to other scriptures like various scriptures, but yes, it's all about the material opulence and connected with the spiritual energy again, right?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes. Who is going to read this translation and puppet?
Mataji, can I?
Oh, sorry. Sure, sure. No.
Yes.
Yes. Translation. Although the super soul appears to be divided among all the beings, he is never divided. He is situated as one. Although he is the maintainer of every living entity, it is to be understood that he devours and develops all. Purport. Given by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord is situated in everyone's heart as super soul. Does this mean that he has become divided? No. Actually, he is one. The example is given of the sun. The sun at the meridian is situated in its place. But if one goes for 5,000 miles in all directions and asks, where is the sun? Everyone will say that it is shining on his head. In the Vedic literature, this example is given to show that although he is undivided, he is situated as if divided. Although also it is said in Vedic literature that one Vishnu is present everywhere by his omnipotence, just as the sun appears in many places to many persons. And the Supreme Lord, although the maintainer of every living entity devours everything at the same. Okay, no. Sun as appears in many places to many persons, and the Supreme Lord, although the maintainer of every living entity, devours everything at the same time of annihilation. This was confirmed in 11th chapter when the Lord said that he had come to devour all the warriors assembled at the Kurukshetra. He also mentioned that in the form of time, he he devours also. He is the annihilator, the killer of all. When there is creation, he develops all from their original state, and at the time of annihilation, he devours them. The Vedic hymns confirm the fact that he is the origin of all living entities and the rest of all. After creation, everything rests in his omnipotence, and after annihilation, everything again returns to the rest in him. These are the confirmations in Vedic hymns. Yatova imani bhutani jayate yena jatani जीवन जीवन्ति यत् प्रयन्ति अभिशाम विशन्ति तद् ब्रह्म तद् विज्ञासस्व तैत्तरीय उपनिषद 3.1.
Hare Krishna. So he is the creator, who is the maintainer, and he is also the annihilator. Okay, every yuga it creates, and it will be there for certain amount of time. Again, it annihilates. Okay, can you see from the Shastras one example where Lord is present everywhere by his omnipotent? From Bhagavatam, any example?
Mataji, the case of Prahlada Narsimha. So when
Pardon,
he was
Prabhu?
the example of Narsimha Avatar.
No. Lord is present everywhere by his yeah, that is
Hare
one
Krishna.
thing. Yes. That is
Krishna
one
himself
example.
is pervading in everywhere, Mataji. He was
Yes.
expands as a little Krishna, cows, cowhead boys, gopis, and there are kids. There are villagers, right? The farmers and
Yeah,
the
what is
cowherd
it?
boys.
What is that example of Prabhu?
Krishna in the
Brahma Vimohan Leela.
Brahma
Yeah.
Vimona Leela, also in
Yes.
the Rasa Leela also
Yes.
Krishna was present as his 16,108 wives as the individual personality, and yes, he was everywhere because in Brahma Vimona Leela also he was there, and here with gopis Rasa, while Rasa performing Rasa, he was there while he is as a master of his Bharta husband, also he is there. And yes,
Yeah. Fine. So we'll move on to the next. Yeah. Who is going to recite this? The devotees who haven't recited till now, they can do this.
Bhakti, can I do?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes. Mataji can recite. Prabhu, you can read the translation and purport.
Yes, Mataji.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ज्योतिषामपि तज्ज्योतिस्तमसा परमम् उच्यते ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं ज्ञानगम्यं हृदि सर्वस्य विष्ठितम्. Madhu, should I read the
Translation and purport.
translation?
Mataji, you can read the translation. Prabhu, you can read the purport.
Translation. He is the source of light in all luminous objects. He is beyond the darkness of matter and is unmanifested. He is knowledge. He is the object of knowledge and he is the goal of knowledge. He is situated in everyone's heart.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Prabhu, you can read purport.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Purport given by Bhakti and Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Bhakti Jai. The super soul, the supreme personality of Godhead, is the source of light in all luminous objects like the sun, moon, stars. In the Vedic literature, we find that in the spiritual kingdom there is no need of sun or moon because the effulgence of the Supreme Lord is there. In the material world, that Brahma Jyoti, the Lord's spiritual effulgence, is covered by the Mahat Tattva, the material elements. Therefore, in this material world, we require the assistance of sun, moon, electricity, etc. for light. But in the spiritual world, there is no need of such things. It is clearly stated in the Vedic literatures that because of his luminous effulgence, everything is illuminated. It is clear. Therefore, that his situation is not material world. He is situated in the spiritual world, which is far, far away in the spiritual sky. That is also confirmed in the Vedic literature. Aditya Varnam, Aditya Varnam Tamasah Parastar Shvetashvatara Upanishad 3.8. He is like the sun, eternally luminous, but he is far, far beyond the darkness of this material world. His knowledge is transcendental. The Vedic literature confirms that Brahman is concentrated transcendental knowledge to one who is anxious to be transferred to the spiritual world. Knowledge is given by the Supreme Lord who is situated in everyone's heart. One Vedic mantra, Shvetashvatara Upanishad 6.18 says, Tam ha Vedam Atma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshur Vai Sharanam Aham Prapadya. One must surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead if he at all wants liberation. As far as the goal of ultimate knowledge is concerned, it is also in the Vedic literature. Tameva viditvati mrityum eti. Only by knowing him, one can surpass the boundary of birth and death. Shvetashvatara Upanishad 3.8. He is situated in everyone's heart as supreme controller. The supreme has legs and hands distributed everywhere, and this cannot be said of this be said of the individual soul. Therefore, that there are two knowers of the field of activity, the individual soul and super soul, must be admitted. One's hands, legs are distributed locally, but Krishna's hands, legs are distributed everywhere. This is confirmed in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad 3.7. Sarvasya Prabhum Ishana Sarvasya Sharanam Brihat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Super Soul is the Prabhu or Master of all living entities. Therefore, he is the ultimate shelter of all living entities. So there is no denying the fact that the Supreme Super Soul and the individual soul are always different. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, what do you say? If you remember the Goloka chart, the Goloka is self-eliminating, does not require an external source like a sun or a moon to eliminate it. The spiritual world is so self-eliminating. Similarly, knowing the Lord and having the knowledge of the Lord is like self-elimination, which will be freeing us from the cycle of birth and death. Okay. So the ultimate shelter is the Lord. So our activity should be in such a way that we follow the path of bhakti by following the required protocol. I can say the 4 regulative principles, chanting, engaging our senses in service of the Lord by any of these 9 bhakti, concentrating on the Lord and doing the sadhana, by which we can increases our energy, positive energy, and we can know the Lord within and progress towards the bhakti. Yeah, I think we'll stop here. We are okay. 19th we'll take tomorrow.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Any questions? Hare Krishna, any questions? Hare Krishna, any questions?
Don't think so,
None from
Mataji.
my side.
No one has raised their hand. Biju Prabhu, you have a question?
No, none from my side. Nothing. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we will end the session for today. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya ivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Thank you, co-host and participants, for your active participation. See you all tomorrow at 7 p.m. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.